The Zarkonian arena trembled with the roar of 10,000 alien spectators. Their chitinous exoskeletons gleamed under the violet suns of Theta Prime as they chanted for blood. In the center of the obsidian pit, small and broken, knelt Lila Morgan. She was 11 years old. Her left arm hung useless at her side, fractured during the raid that had stolen her from the human colony ship. Blood matted her dark hair, and her simple gray jumpsuit was torn and stained. Yet her green eyes remained defiant, even as the Zarkonian High Commander Zelthor approached the edge of the pit. Behold, Zelthor's translator broadcast his words across the arena. The weakness of humanity. This small thing represents the species that dares to expand into our territories. Today, we offer her to Valthar the Eternal, and let the galaxy witness what becomes of human arrogance. Laughter rippled through the crowd, cruel clicking sounds that made Lila's stomach twist. She'd heard the stories about Valthar during her 3 days of captivity. The ancient dragon had destroyed entire fleets. His fire burned hot enough to melt battlecruisers. For 5,000 years he had been the Zarkonians' ultimate weapon, their god of war, and now she would die in his jaws. The arena floor began to split open. Ancient mechanisms groaned as a massive chamber beneath revealed itself. Heat rolled up in waves that made the air shimmer. Then came the sound, a breathing so deep and powerful it seemed to shake Lila's bones. Valthar emerged. He was magnificent and terrible. His scales were the color of dying stars, shifting between deep crimson and molten gold. Each was the size of a shield. His wings, folded against his serpentine body, could have cast a shadow over a city. Horns crowned his massive head, and his eyes were ancient amber containing the weight of millennia. The crowd's laughter died. Even the Zarkonians feared what they had summoned. Valthar's head rose on his long neck, bringing his eyes level with the arena rim where Zelthor stood. The dragon's gaze swept across the assembled aliens with something that looked like contempt. Then those ancient eyes found Lila. She stood, barely. Her legs shook, but she would not die on her knees. Her grandmother had been a Marine. Her father had been an explorer who walked into unknown worlds without fear. She was human, and humans did not yield. "I'm not afraid of you," Lila whispered, though her voice cracked. It was a lie. She was terrified. But she'd learned that courage wasn't the absence of fear. It was choosing to stand despite it. Valthar descended into the pit with surprising grace for something so massive. Each footfall made the ground tremble. He moved closer, his head lowering until his enormous eye was level with Lila's face. She could feel the heat radiating from him, could smell sulfur and age and power. The dragon's nostrils flared. He was smelling her? His eye narrowed, and deep in his throat came a sound, not quite a growl, but something thoughtful. "Burn her," Zelthor commanded from above. "Fulfill your purpose, Valthar. Destroy the human whelp." The dragon's head turned slowly toward the High Commander. When Valthar spoke, his voice was like thunder rolling through mountains, ancient and resonant. The translator barely captured its depth. "You dare command me?" Each word dripped with quiet fury. "You who have imprisoned me for 5,000 years. You who have used me as a weapon against the innocent?" Zelthor's confidence faltered. "You are bound by the old oaths. You must obey." "The oaths," Valthar rumbled, "were made when your kind had honor. When you fought warriors, not children." His gaze returned to Lila. "This small one is wounded, afraid, yet she stands. She faces her death with more courage than your entire species showed when you chained me with your cursed technology." Valthar's wing moved, carefully, almost gently. It curved around Lila like a shield. The heat from his body was intense but no longer painful. It was warm, almost comforting. "I smell no fierce stink of cowardice on her," the dragon continued. "I smell defiance, determination, the same spirit that burned in the ancient warriors of Earth, the ones who faced beasts and darkness with nothing but stone and fire." His massive head turned back to the arena. "You mock her species? I have lived 5,000 years. I have seen empires rise and fall. And I tell you this, humanity possesses something you Zarkonians have forgotten. They possess heart." The arena erupted in chaos. Zarkonians screamed for Valthar to obey. Some fled. Zelthor raised his weapon. Valthar moved faster than anything his size should. His tail swept across the arena rim, sending Zelthor and his guards tumbling. His roar shook the stadium and cracks spiderwebbed through the structure. "I am Valthar." His voice boomed across Theta Prime. And I am no longer your slave. Fire erupted from his maw, not at Lila, but at the chains that had bound him for millennia. The ancient mechanisms that controlled him melted and twisted. Alarms screamed across the planet. When the smoke cleared, Velthar stood free, and beneath his wing, Lila Morgan remained untouched. The dragon looked down at her again. Small one, what is your name? Lila, she managed. Lila Morgan, Lila Morgan. Velthar spoke her name like a sacred thing. You have given me something I had forgotten. You reminded me what it means to stand against impossible odds. His wing lifted slightly. Can you walk? Lila shook her head. Her injured arm throbbed and her legs finally gave out. She collapsed. Velthar's claw moved, massive, tipped with talons like swords, yet impossibly gentle. He lifted her as carefully as one might hold a bird. Then I shall carry you. Your people will wonder what became of you. I think I shall show them that not all ancient powers are cruel. As Velthar launched himself into the sky, Lila cradled in his protective grasp. The Zarkonian Empire watched their ultimate weapon depart. With him flew a small human girl who had done the impossible. She had not defeated the dragon. She had freed him. The news spread across the galaxy within hours. The Zarkonians' great weapon had turned on them, not for another empire, not for conquest, but to protect a single injured child. Humanity, the galaxy learned, had a way of inspiring the impossible. And in the years that followed, when anyone asked Lila Morgan how she had survived, she would simply say, I stood. And sometimes that's enough.